We're following what could be the most significant discovery for the millions of Americans affected by Alzheimer's and memory loss. In what's being called a revolutionary breakthrough, scientists believe they may have finally found a natural way to not only fight, but potentially reverse the devastating effects of the disease. The most surprising part? The key isn't some new drug. It all comes down to a simple honey recipe and a powerful traditional Indian root developed by Dr. Sanjay Gupta himself. Neuroscientists worldwide are already calling this natural approach the greatest leap forward in brain health of the 21st century, with preliminary data showing it to be up to 10 times more effective than any Alzheimer's medication currently on the market. Reports are flooding the internet that over 16,000 Americans have already experienced a stunning reversal of a condition once considered incurable. Among them, a story of incredible hope from Hollywood legend Bruce Willis.
To just watch him fade away was the hardest thing our family has ever been through. It wasn't just the memory loss, it was the blank stares, the confusion. My biggest fear was that one day he wouldn't know who I was anymore, that he'd be gone forever, even while sitting right there in front of me.
My doctor said that in a few years I'd need round-the-clock care. The words were in my head, but I couldn't get them out. I'd walk into a room and forget why I was there. I'd forget the names of friends I've known my whole life. But the worst part was seeing the pity in people's eyes, that look on their face when they realize you're broken. That was worse than the disease itself. Then one day a friend introduced me to Dr. Gupta. I learned about his work and was privileged to be one of his first patients to use his 2-ingredient recipe. After 3 weeks of taking the mixture daily, I noticed the episodes of forgetfulness were becoming rarer and rarer. Today I can say I've completely reversed my condition and can enjoy life normally again. Now I'm going to get back to doing what I love most, which is acting. And thanks to Dr. Gupta, I can do it with clarity and confidence.
The light came back into his eyes. We were talking, and suddenly he started telling a story from my childhood, a memory I thought was lost forever. He was lucid, he was present. He was my dad again. This recipe gave me my father back.
This research is the result of a global investigation led by one of the most trusted names in American medicine, and the results? Stunning. 97% of participants saw significant improvements in cognitive function, and 9 out of 10 patients diagnosed with Alzheimer's showed clear signs of the disease's reversal. Tonight, we are honored to have the man who led this mission with us, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, renowned neurosurgeon and CNN's own chief medical correspondent. Dr. Gupta, thank you for being here to explain what these ingredients are and how they could be the answer millions of families have been waiting for.
Hello, Anderson, and everyone watching at home. Before we begin, I want to say that this is truly a landmark in modern medicine, and I am honored to be a part of it. Today, new hope is born. In fact, I'd call it a new certainty. Millions of people, from patients to their families, will be impacted by what's about to be revealed, and they can start using this approach today and feel noticeable improvements in their cognition and memory within a few short weeks. I really need you to pay close attention to what I'm about to share, because honestly, I don't know how long this broadcast will stay on the air. Ever since I started making this information public, I've been receiving threats telling me to stay quiet. But as a doctor and a journalist, it's my duty to share this with as many people as possible. You've probably seen me on CNN, or perhaps you've read one of my books like Keep Sharp or Chasing Life. I've spent over 20 years on the front lines of neurosurgery and health communication. I'm a graduate of the University of Michigan with a specialization in neurosurgery. But as strange as it sounds, even with all the recognition I've received around the world, I had to face this enemy up close, watching its shadow fall over my own family. The story of this disease has haunted me since I was a teenager, when I watched my grandfather get diagnosed with Alzheimer's. That painful experience was seared into my memory, and a few years ago, I started noticing small, frightening changes in my own father. He'd get confused about the time of day, he was constantly losing his keys. And you might be thinking, well, it's normal to forget things as we get older. But that's simply not true. Frequent memory lapses, that brain fog, difficulty remembering simple things. You see, those aren't just signs of aging, they are actually warning signs that the brain is starting to slowly shut down. Now, here's the good news. Today, you're going to learn a simple 2-ingredient recipe, the very same one that helped reverse my own dear father's dementia. Maybe you've put your hopes in expensive treatments only to deal with terrible side effects like nausea, vomiting, or even the risk of brain bleeds from the newer drugs. Well, let me warn you, studies from the Alzheimer's Association itself show that 99% of all attempts to create an Alzheimer's drug have failed in clinical trials. That's why it's so important to understand that these so-called solutions are really just chains that keep you trapped in a cycle of false hope and disappointment. They don't attack the root of the problem. Besides learning a honey-based recipe proven to help rejuvenate your brain, by watching this video, you'll also be able to leave behind that constant anxiety and the stress of living in fear of forgetting the things that matter most. So if you or someone close to you has been dealing with recent memory loss, misplacing things often, struggling to remember names or faces, or just feeling mentally drained most of the time, this could be the most important video you ever watch. And that's exactly why I want to be crystal clear. What I'm about to show you is unlike anything you've ever tried or heard of before, even from me in the past. What I've discovered about brain health is something never before revealed in the history of medicine. This completely natural solution targets the toxins that are draining your brain and helps bring your memory back to the sharpness of someone half your age. Well, I've never put my father in the media spotlight. I chose this life. He didn't. But since this is for the greater good, I'll tell you what happened. Over time, I started to notice his small slips becoming more frequent and more serious. As a doctor, I didn't want to admit it, but all the signs pointed to something devastating: Alzheimer's disease, made even more likely by the fact that his father, my grandfather, had died from it. Not long ago, we didn't really understand what caused Alzheimer's, but now studies show that memory is directly linked to a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine, which plays a critical role in the nervous system. If someone doesn't maintain healthy levels of acetylcholine in their brain, the chances of developing neurological disorders like Alzheimer's increase dramatically. Here's the real problem. Over the years, our brain starts to accumulate a silent threat, a kind of mental leech that latches onto your neurons and feeds on your acetylcholine. This toxin is called cadmium chloride, and as it advances through your brain, the most important memories, like the faces of your loved ones, start to fade away. Think of your brain as a massive library. Acetylcholine is the librarian. Without it, you can't access your memories. And cadmium chloride is like a plague that corrodes the shelves, the books, and even the librarian himself. At first, it's the little things: where you left your keys, what you had for dinner last night, someone's name. But as the toxin spreads, even the most precious memories, like the faces of the people you love most, also begin to vanish. And the scariest part, no one is safe. This toxin is everywhere. We are exposed to cadmium chloride every single day without even knowing it. It's in the soil, in our water, and even in the air we breathe. The food we eat is drenched in it from pesticides. Old plumbing systems release cadmium into our drinking water, and the air in our cities is filled with this heavy metal thanks to car emissions. So, over the years, without realizing it, we slowly accumulate more and more of this toxin inside of us. People work hard to take care of their bodies, but they have no idea what's happening inside their brains. It's no wonder that millions of people around the world are silently losing their memories, their independence, and their very lives to dementia. And that's exactly what I realized was happening to my own father. Well, I admit, as a doctor, I didn't want to believe how serious the situation was, but reality hit me like a runaway train one Sunday afternoon during a visit to my parents' house. My father was flipping through one of our old photo albums. I sat down next to him. He turned a page and stopped at a picture of us when I was just a boy sitting on his lap. He smiled, looked at the photo, then turned to me and said with a sincerity that broke my heart,
"What a nice looking boy. Do you know him?"
Hoping it was just a moment of confusion, I told him that it was me on his lap. That's when I saw it in his eyes. He was confused. He strained, frowned, and looking somewhat ashamed, said he needed to go home. He was in his own house. The lapse was huge, and it took him a few hours to come back to himself. My mother had to calm him down. It was a truly shocking moment for us. My mom had mentioned he'd been a bit forgetful, but I had no idea it was that advanced. For a moment, I just froze. That was my dad, the man who taught me how to ride a bike, who watched me graduate from medical school, and he was looking at a photo of his own son and asking me, his son, if I knew him. He didn't know where he was, and for a moment, he didn't even know who I was. In that instant, I wasn't Dr. Sanjay Gupta from CNN. I was just a son being erased from the memory of the person I admired most. That night, after he finally went to bed, I stayed in the living room looking at that photo again, completely overcome by this feeling of helplessness. Years of study, access to the best doctors in the world, and none of it mattered. I felt guilty for neglecting his condition. What good was my academic career and fame if in my own family I was facing the very problem I had fought against my entire life? Something inside me changed at that moment. As I wrestled with the pain, I made a promise. I would use every resource, every contact, all of my energy to find a way to bring my father back no matter what it cost. But I had no idea how to safely get rid of the cadmium chloride that I knew was building up in his brain. It felt like an impossible battle. But the next morning, instead of going to the hospital, I went to my office and began the most exhaustive investigation of my career. I used my platform at CNN and my contacts to access every known therapy. We ran tests, changed his diet, added all the recommended supplements. We tried meditation, cognitive stimulation, even light, sound, and frequency therapies. We also tried things like omega-3s, nootropics, and drugs like Namenda, Exelon, and Aricept, but nothing worked. At that point, I had two clear goals. First, I had to eliminate the toxin from my father's system to cleanse his brain of this memory-destroying poison. And second, I needed to restore the acetylcholine that had been depleted so he could start recovering his memories. I started with step one. Technically speaking, I needed a natural chelator, something that could bind to cadmium chloride and flush it from my father's brain without dangerous side effects. There are drugs for metal detox, but they are incredibly harsh, and most can't even cross the blood-brain barrier. I needed something gentle, natural, and powerful. I couldn't risk making my father's condition worse. Months went by in my investigation, and I was just going in circles, hitting one wall after another in conventional medicine. That's when, as a journalist, I decided to change tactics. If the answer wasn't in the future of medicine, maybe it was in the past. I began a deep dive investigation for a CNN special on the blue zones of the mind, remote places in the world with inexplicably low and even non-existent rates of dementia. My research led me to an isolated village in the Himalayas. According to records, the elders there maintained stunning mental clarity well into their final years. I went there with my film crew, and what I saw was breathtaking. Local beekeepers climbing sheer cliffs with ropes, risking their lives just to harvest a rare, dense honey they called cider honey. Local legends said this honey, produced by bees that feed on a sacred lotus flower, cleansed the blood of poisons. I took a sample to be analyzed at the labs at Emory University, and the results were shocking. The honey had an extremely high concentration of natural chelators. I had the first piece of the puzzle, the method to cleanse the brain of the poison, but I already knew this was only half the battle. I started giving my father a carefully measured dose of cider honey every morning, mixed into warm water, and then I waited, watching him closely, my heart full of hope for any sign of improvement. After a few days, I noticed he seemed a little more alert. It wasn't dramatic, but it was something. Still, while the honey was helping to clear out the poison, his memories weren't coming back. I needed something to rebuild the connections the toxin had destroyed. That's when my investigation led me to the World Memory Championship. I decided to go not as a spectator, but as a reporter, seeking to understand the limits of human capability. I was blown away by what I saw, but it was during the binary digit challenge that something really caught my eye. Among all the young competitors, there was an elderly man, he must have been in his late 70s, competing side by side with them. And despite his age, his mind was clearly sharper than many there. In the end, he took home the grand prize. I had to speak with him. His name was Vishva Rajakumar, a gentleman from India. I waited for the right moment and approached him. Mr. Vishva, I asked, what's your secret? Is there a diet, a technique you use to keep your memory so sharp? He looked at me and said,
My friend, I have trained my mind since I was young. But I must admit, I had help from my grandmother. Since I was a boy, she gave me a paste every morning made from the crushed leaves of the Ganesha plant. She used to say it would feed my brain. I have taken this paste almost every day of my life.
He went on, explaining that Ganesha is a Hindu deity with an elephant's head, and as we know, elephants have a legendary memory. The scientific name for the plant is Bacopa monnieri. It was a local tradition to give this plant to children, to help them with their studies, and to the elderly, to keep their minds from weakening. Quickly, I told him about my investigation, my father's condition, and my desperate search for an answer that Western medicine didn't have. He listened patiently, then reached into his bag and handed me a small cloth bundle. Inside were dried, crushed leaves. He held my hands and said,
I hope this helps your father, my friend. Please, let me know if it does.
We said our goodbyes, and I went back to my hotel room, where I spent hours researching everything I could about the plant. Study after study confirmed what Vishva had said. Under certain conditions, the extract from this plant had the potential to boost neurogenesis, the formation of new neurons and synapses in the brain. Back in the US, I spoke with my father and added both the Bacopa monnieri and the cider honey to his daily routine. Every morning, I would prepare a simple tonic, mixing a dose of bacopa extract into a spoonful of pure cider honey. The honey to flush out the toxin and the plant to help regenerate his acetylcholine levels. At first, nothing seemed to change. I admit I started to feel like I was back at square one, but around the second week, little miracles started to happen. I began to see pieces of my father coming back bit by bit. That foggy, confused look in his eyes gave way to something brighter, more focused. He started following the news on TV again. Before, he would lose the thread, but now he could debate politics with me, just like we used to. He even went back to reading his complex history books, a passion he had abandoned. And then one afternoon, I walked into the living room and found him flipping through one of our old photo albums. I sat down next to him. He turned a page, pointed to a picture from my medical school graduation day, and started telling the story, remembering the pride he felt, and repeating word for word what he had told me that day. I couldn't hold back the tears. These were memories I was sure the disease had erased. But there they were, clear, vivid. It was like watching a rebirth. My father was coming back to life, and it didn't stop there. It wasn't long before family and close friends started noticing the incredible changes in him. Some even called it a miracle. Others asked what we had done, wanting to know if it could help their own parents and grandparents. How many other families out there deserve the same chance to get their loved ones back? So I started sharing small batches of my homemade formula of honey with bacopa extract with my colleagues and friends, people whose parents or grandparents were struggling with memory loss. I needed to see if it could work for others too. I invested my own savings in getting the purest compounds, directly from their places of origin. And the results? Well, I'll let them speak for themselves.
I felt useless, but in the first week of using Dr. Gupta's formula, I was able to get my mental clarity back.
Ever since I started taking that little mixture Dr. Gupta gave me, my life has completely changed. The worst part of having Alzheimer's was feeling like I was losing myself and seeing the sadness in my children's eyes when I didn't recognize them. It was heartbreaking, but now I can recognize everyone again. I talk normally with my children and grandchildren. They tell me their stories, and I remember everything. I interact with them like my mind is younger than ever. I can sit and have long conversations, recalling memories I thought were lost forever. I feel like I've been reborn, and I'll say it plain and simple. This is real. I'm living proof.
Before I met Dr. Gupta, I thought my life was basically over. The Alzheimer's diagnosis hit me hard. I was always independent, but suddenly I couldn't even go for a walk by myself without getting lost. I was at rock bottom. When my daughter told me about this natural recipe, I laughed and said, if expensive drugs didn't work, there's no way some herbal tea is going to fix me. But I had nothing to lose. And wow, within a month, things started to make sense again. This discovery changed my life. I will be eternally grateful.
Hearing these stories filled me with joy and certainty. I had found my purpose. As a scientist, I knew I needed to take the next step to validate this solution on a much larger scale, with rigorous scientific backing. With the help of my colleagues from Emory and the Harvard community, we organized a clinical study with about 2,100 volunteers, men and women between the ages of 45 and 90. They ranged from those experiencing only mild cognitive impairment to patients in the most advanced stages of Alzheimer's. They came from all walks of life, with different lifestyles and genetic backgrounds, but they all shared one thing in common: the desire to reclaim their minds. After just 8 weeks of treatment using the mixture of these two ingredients, the results were simply astonishing. We saw that the cadmium chloride, the same toxic metal that had stolen so many memories, was being flushed from their bodies. Even more remarkably, the production of acetylcholine, the most important neurotransmitter responsible for memory, skyrocketed in an incredible 98% of participants. And with that came significant improvements in cognitive function. Anxiety, irritability, and brain fog practically vanished. An incredible 96% of participants had their disease's progression completely halted. In other words, Alzheimer's was stopped in its tracks and even began to reverse, and 87% recovered lost cognitive abilities, getting back to handling their daily routines independently.
My mother had become aggressive. She no longer recognized my children. We were seriously considering putting her in a memory care facility, but thanks to Dr. Gupta, my kids can now spend time with their grandmother, something the doctors told us would never happen.
And here's the best part. None of the volunteers had to take additional medications or suffer through painful treatments. None. It was all 100% natural and free of side effects. When I saw those results, I could hardly believe it. We had undeniable scientific proof that this formula worked. But what I didn't expect was the deception that followed. What I'm about to tell you is shocking. As a journalist, I had the chance to present these findings to the president of one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world. But what happened next left me speechless. Instead of being excited, he scoffed at me. Luckily, Fortunately, I recorded part of our conversation.
We're not the least bit interested in some plant mixed with honey. Why would anyone buy it if it's natural? And even if they did, it would be too cheap. We could never patent it. We'd go broke. So do me a favor. We'll offer you $30 million for everything. Your research, your suppliers, the whole package. In return, you sign an NDA and let us take it from here.
That day, I felt like I'd been stabbed in the back. All I could think was, how can people be so corrupt? Of course, I refused the offer. That's when I finally realized most of these products are designed not to work long term. They're made to keep people hooked, just enough to keep the profits rolling in. It's all part of a gigantic system that feeds on our pain. To give you an idea, the Alzheimer's industry rakes in over $10 billion a year. An American diagnosed with Alzheimer's can cost their family nearly $400,000 in medication and care, costs that only increase as the disease progresses, all with zero hope of a cure. Now imagine having access to a solution that is affordable, natural, and free of side effects. That's exactly why they want to hide this information. I'm taking a huge risk by sharing this with you. The threats I've received are very real. My Instagram account has already been taken down 4 times because of this, but this is my mission, to bring you the whole truth. So please listen carefully, because this next part is the most important of this entire video. After that meeting, along with other researchers from Harvard and Yale, we expanded our tests even further, this time including volunteers as young as 28, and the results were clear. This was the most effective solution we had ever seen for boosting brain power. We spent almost an entire year reviewing studies and perfecting our process. We imported honey directly from the Himalayas. We partnered with small-scale farmers of Bacopa Monnieri in rural India, but the research wasn't without its challenges. The first major problem: pure versions of these nutrients are rare and expensive. Sure, you can find cider honey online or even try to grow Bacopa at home, but the effectiveness lies in the purity of the formula. And that only happens when all the conditions are perfect: temperature, altitude, soil nutrients. When exposed to heat or humidity outside the Himalayas, the honey lost its properties, and the Bacopa, it oxidized easily, becoming unstable when it came into contact with air. This was a huge obstacle. So I started reaching out to labs, asking them to produce small batches using only the purest, most concentrated forms of these ingredients. Most of them flatly refused, citing conflicts of interest. But the truth is, many were involved in that same corrupt system I mentioned earlier. Fortunately, I was introduced to a businessman who had lost his own grandmother to dementia. He was deeply moved by my story and committed to helping bring this formula to life. And so today I can proudly say, if you're struggling with any stage of Alzheimer's, or if you're worried that everyday forgetfulness could be the first sign of something worse, those fears end right now. Today is the day you say goodbye to memory loss and cognitive decline. Today you start a new chapter in your life. From this moment on, your only worry will be choosing which stories you want to relive first and which new memories you're going to create, because your mind will finally be clear, focused, and sharp enough to cherish every moment again. After months of hard work and tough negotiations, we are now producing small batches through a top-tier pharmaceutical lab and a GMP-certified manufacturing facility right here in the United States. We've spent countless hours fine-tuning this formula to perfection, and that's what made this video possible today. It is with great pride and joy that I introduce you to Memyts, the only 100% natural, scientifically backed solution that combines these two powerful and pure ingredients in the exact proportions needed to eliminate cadmium chloride from your system, reactivate your brain's natural acetylcholine production, and restore years of lost memories, mental clarity, and independence, all with zero side effects. I want you to be our next success story, the next person to completely restore your memory, your identity, and your life. As of today, the choice is yours. Unlike expensive or risky conventional treatments, using Memyts is simple. Just take 1 capsule in the morning with a glass of water, and the formula begins to work inside your body. Now, why in a capsule? Because, as proven by researchers from Oxford, encapsulation significantly increases nutrient absorption and delivers the ideal concentration exactly where it's needed most. By putting the cider honey extract and Bacopa Monnieri into capsule form, we ensure the active compounds reach your gut and bloodstream intact and then cross the blood-brain barrier to reach your brain. In other words, the full power of the formula goes exactly where it needs to go. Encapsulation also allows us to use ultra-concentrated doses, preserving each ingredient at its maximum potential. And this is what makes this solution so powerful. It works for anyone because it attacks the root cause of memory loss, the buildup of the cadmium toxin and the lack of acetylcholine. In simple terms, it goes after the real cause of Alzheimer's, not just the symptoms. It doesn't matter if you're 40 or 80. Whether you're just starting to forget little things or if the condition is already advanced, Memyts goes straight to the source, cleansing and rejuvenating your brain from the inside out. Memyts combines pure cider honey and high-potency Bacopa Monnieri in easy-to-take capsules. Each Each daily dose provides the exact amount of these ingredients that studies have shown to reverse the symptoms of Alzheimer's. My team and I were determined to make this formula accessible to finally break the cycle that keeps so many families trapped. We fought against huge interest to get to this point, and now, thanks to our partnership with a certified lab, we can produce Memyts and offer it directly to you and everyone who truly needs it.
The worst part isn't the memory loss. It's seeing that look of pity in the eyes of the people you love when they realize you're not the same anymore. Then comes the fear, the shame. I wanted to give up, but thanks to Memyts, I got a second chance.
A few months ago, if you asked me what I had for lunch the day before, I honestly wouldn't know what to say. But after I started using Memyts, at 86 years old, I was able to direct and star in my new film. Not only was it a success, but I also became the oldest man in the world to win an Oscar. Without Memyts, I couldn't have done it.
Memyts gave me back the two things I love most and thought I had lost forever: my family memories and the freedom to travel, which I adore. Just 2 years ago, I was suffering from a severe brain fog. I couldn't go out alone without getting lost. I was even forgetting my grandchildren's names, and the doctors told me it would only get worse, that it was irreversible. But after starting Memyts, I regained my independence and can now enjoy moments with my family that I know I will remember forever.
And they are not alone. Over 17,000 men and women around the world are already reclaiming their memories and reversing the signs of dementia. Now it's your turn to finally break free. Take back your independence and ensure you'll never become a burden to the people you love. That's why we have set aside the next 79 bottles of Memyts for the people who are ready to take that first step today, people ready to change their lives. After our first batch was released, demand exploded. The news spread like wildfire. Our current stock is already almost gone, and because of the incredible results and the growing buzz, Memyts has even caught the attention of the media. Some celebrities have shared their results on social media. Young professionals are now also using it, not just to protect their brains, but to boost focus and performance at work. But before we go any further, I need to warn you. Most people buy several bottles at once, so we don't know how long our current supply will last. And at this rate, it's likely to sell out in just a few hours. Right now, there are only 79 bottles left. So you need to act fast if you want to reserve your order today and avoid waiting another several months. You see, Memyts is produced in small batches every 6 months to ensure it meets the highest standards of quality and purity. So if you want a brain that stays young and sharp no matter your age, you are in exactly the right place. Memyts is the only formula on the market today that offers this kind of transformation with zero side effects. And that transformation is finally within your reach because Memyts contains everything you need to win the battle against cognitive decline once and for all. It doesn't matter if you've tried omega-3s, nootropics, or even drugs like Namenda, Exelon, Aricept, or Donepezil. I'm here to tell you that nothing is as effective as Memyts. It doesn't matter your genetics, your diet, or even your age. What would it be worth to you to have total independence for the rest of your life? To never have to depend on your family and to keep your memory sharp and intact? I imagine it's priceless. Because for me, seeing what happened to my father, there is no amount of money that can measure the value of what we got back. Over the decades, I've seen so many families completely drained, eventually leaving their loved ones with Alzheimer's in nursing homes helpless. That's why I need to stress this clearly. Right now, you have the greatest opportunity to keep your mind young, healthy, and independent, while you can still remember the faces of the people you love most. Do you have any idea what happened when I posted online that we might be releasing the final batch of Memyts? I was flooded with messages from people saying they would pay up to $1,000 for a single bottle. And honestly, when you realize that after using Memyts, you'll never have to spend another dime on brain supplements or Alzheimer's medication, $1,000 would actually be more than fair. But I also understand that not everyone can afford that kind of investment. So I'm going to do something even better. I want you to be our next success story, the next person to take back your memory, your identity, and your life. And to celebrate your transformation, I'm going to go one step further. The first 10 people to order Memyts today will receive a private one-on-one Zoom consultation with me personally. And that's not all. You'll also receive a $3,000 gift card from Carnival Cruise Line. You can use it to take the whole family on a dream trip or enjoy a few getaways with a loved one. The choice is yours. And why am I doing this? Because I don't just want you to preserve your memories. I want you to create new ones. I want you to celebrate your victory over Alzheimer's. But remember, this offer is only for the first 10 people who act now. Let me be clear, this isn't about money. It's about saving lives, about saving families. Because I know exactly what it's like to to watch someone you love fade away in front of you day after day and feel completely helpless. I know what it's like to hold your spouse's trembling hand and ask, why isn't anything working? Memyts has already changed the lives of over 17,000 people around the world, men and women who have recovered priceless memories and have gone back to living fully, free from the clutches of Alzheimer's. Now it's your turn, and that's why, despite all the research, all the rare ingredients, and everything it took to make this possible, I'm not asking you to pay $1,000 a bottle. You're not even going to pay half of that. Not $500, not even $250. Here's how it works. You get the absolute best value by getting the 6-bottle kit, where you'll only pay for 3. Yes, you heard that right. We'll give you 3 bottles for free. That comes out to just $49 per bottle, our lowest price ever, and it's a one-time payment. No subscriptions, no hidden fees, just complete brain support for months. You can also choose our medium kit, where you buy 3 bottles. You'll pay for 2 and get 1 free for just $69 per bottle for a full 3 months of treatment. And we also have the starter option, where you choose 2 bottles and get a 40% discount. In that case, instead of $250, you'll pay just $79 per bottle. Even if you start with just 2 bottles, you'll be giving your body time to flush out years of accumulated cadmium and start restoring healthy brain function. And there's more. Everyone who chooses the 6-bottle kit of Memyts will receive a special gift we created to take complete care of you. In addition to the formula that already helps restore your memory, you'll also get lifetime access to 2 exclusive virtual professionals offering the same level of care that only specialized brain health clinics can provide, but right from the comfort of your home. The first is a virtual neurologist ready to answer questions about your treatment, memory, sleep, focus, and concentration, and to guide you through small lifestyle adjustments that strengthen your brain and keep your mind active. Today, a single consultation like that would easily cost $300 or more, but by getting the 6-bottle kit, you'll have this ongoing support at no extra cost. You'll also receive lifetime access to a personal psychologist dedicated to taking care of your emotional health, including anxiety, stress, mental overload, and the fears that come with memory loss. These 2 professionals will be by your side to make sure you regain not only your memories, but also the peace of mind and mental balance that make life lighter and more fulfilling. In other words, Memyts alone already delivers incredible results. The follow-up with the neurologist and psychologist is an invaluable bonus, part of our complete ecosystem of health and well-being, created so that you can live with clarity, confidence, and presence for many, many years. So click the button below, select the 6-bottle kit to secure all the benefits, or choose the kit that makes the most sense for you. But this offer is only available right now, directly on this page, and only while supplies last. Don't risk coming back later and seeing that the bottles are gone. Cider honey is incredibly rare. Its supply is naturally limited, and we only produce Memyts in small batches every 6 months to preserve quality. So if you close this page now, your reserved bottles will immediately go to the next person in line, and I would hate for you to miss your chance. All you need to do to restore your memory, reclaim your independence, and start living the way you've always dreamed is to choose the right kit for you below this video. But hurry to be one of the first to secure this batch so you can get a free consultation with me and a gift card to go on a cruise with your family. Choose your kit below. For less than $3 a day, you'll get access to the most revolutionary brain formula on the market. Cheaper than a cup of coffee and much, much cheaper than long-term care in a facility. So click the button now. It will take you to a secure checkout page where you can select your treatment, enter your contact information, and confirm your order. You'll receive an email shortly after with all the details. To show you how confident I am in Memyts, everyone who buys today will be automatically entered into a grand prize sweepstakes, an all-expenses paid trip to Tuscany, Italy for you and your guests. You'll stay at a 5-star all-inclusive resort and have the time of your life, creating beautiful new memories with the people you love most. But please remember, there are only 79 bottles left in stock, and with so many people ordering 3, 6, even 12 bottles at a time, this offer could be gone within the hour. Once the stock runs out, the purchase buttons below this video will be disabled, so select your preferred kit below right now. If you live in the US, you'll receive your order within 3 to 5 business days, depending on your location. If you're overseas, it might take a little longer, but never more than 15 days. And if you have any questions, our support team is available 24/7 by email or phone, ready to help help you at any time. Important note, Memyts is only available through this official page. You won't find it anywhere else. Memyts is not available on Amazon, eBay, GNC, or Walgreens. We've removed all the middlemen so we can offer you the best possible price right here on our official website. And because you've stayed with me this far, your bottles are reserved. But if you close this page, they will be released to the next person in line. So click the button below right now to secure your discount and your order. And listen, while we've received hundreds of 5-star reviews on Trustpilot, I completely understand if you're still skeptical. After all, Big Pharma has been lying to you for decades, telling you there's no cure for Alzheimer's. They don't want you to discover something simple, natural, and affordable, because then you wouldn't keep spending a fortune on the fake solutions they push year after year. It's no surprise they spend over $179 million a year just to keep people like you from knowing the truth. So to prove that our solution works and that you have absolutely nothing to worry about, you're covered by our 60-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If for any reason you're not completely satisfied with Memyts, which has never happened so far, just send us an email and we will refund 100% of your money. No questions, no hassles. Like I said, your investment is 100% secure. Either you get your memory back or you pay nothing. It's that simple. You don't have to say yes right now. All I'm asking for is a maybe. You have a full 2 months to decide. But you'll likely start noticing the results in the very first week and realize it was one of the best decisions you've ever made. And why am I doing this? Because unlike the big drug companies, I believe in what we've created. I know it works. So your risk is zero and your potential gain is life-changing. So click the button below before it's too late. And for those who are still with me, here's something special. And just for you, someone who's made it this far and is truly taking this seriously, I've prepared something really special and innovative. In addition to the formula that's already transforming thousands of lives, anyone who secures the complete 6-bottle kit of Memyts today will receive exclusive, never-before-seen gifts that aren't available anywhere else. And honestly, they're worth far more than the product itself. These are bonuses created to speed up your recovery, provide continuous and personalized support, and turn your memory restoration journey into a complete, safe, and enjoyable experience. But pay attention. This offer is valid only for those who choose the 6-bottle package. The first bonus, Premium Personal Neurologist. This is a privilege reserved only for those who take the treatment seriously. By securing the complete kit, you'll get lifetime access to the virtual neurologist. This guidance goes far beyond basic advice. The specialist will help you track your entire treatment, design sleep, focus, and cognitive stimulation routines, and guide you in making lifestyle adjustments that amplify Memyts' effects on your brain. It's like having a trusted doctor monitoring your progress and guiding you step by step toward full mental clarity. Today, a single consultation with a renowned neurologist could easily cost $300 or more. Here, you'll receive this complete and ongoing support for life without paying a single cent more. The second bonus, Personal Psychologist. In addition to neurological support, you'll also get lifetime access to a virtual psychologist designed to care for what medicine alone can't reach: your emotional mind. This is the invisible yet essential part of cognitive recovery. The psychologist will help you deal with anxiety, fear of forgetting, stress, and mental overload, offering exercises and supportive conversations that restore calm, confidence, and emotional balance. Many patients who experience forgetfulness, lapses in clarity, or even an Alzheimer's diagnosis end up developing anxiety, constant fear, and emotional trauma after seeing their own mind fail. This psychologist was created precisely to help you heal those wounds, relieve anxiety, rebuild confidence, and rediscover the peace of mind you need to keep progressing. Imagine being able to talk, open up, and receive guidance whenever you feel afraid or insecure without leaving your home or spending hundreds of dollars per session. Today, a single session with a good psychologist easily costs $200, but you'll receive this continuous and lifelong support completely free when you choose the 6-bottle kit. The third bonus, the Memyts VIP Portal, an exclusive lifetime space designed to strengthen your mind and accelerate your Memyts results. Inside the portal, you'll find memory training classes and exercises guided by specialists with simple practices that boost focus, reasoning, and concentration, relaxation sessions and mindfulness techniques to reduce mental stress, and a real mini quiz, the memory test, which gives you a quick and practical evaluation showing how your memory is performing today. It's like having a private mental gym right inside your home, ready to train and strengthen your brain. The real value of this access would be $87 per month, but today it's included completely free for life when you get the 6-bottle package. The fourth bonus, 2 digital bestsellers on health and wellness. You'll also receive 2 best-selling ebooks focused on overall health and well-being. My digital book, The Super Gut Code, which reveals how to reduce gut inflammation by up to 83% and lower the risk of heart disease by 62%. The ebook, 101 Natural Cures, by the renowned Barbara O'Neill, teaching how to use natural compounds to treat high blood pressure, cholesterol, arthritis, anxiety, and much more. Together, these 2 materials are worth nearly $160, but today, they're yours completely free. In summary, by securing the 6-bottle Memyts kit today, you'll get lifetime access to the virtual neurologist, lifetime access to the virtual psychologist, full access to the Memyts VIP Health Portal, the Memory Test Mini Quiz, the ebooks, the Super Gut Code, and 101 Natural Cures. And for the first 10 people who secure the kit today, there's an exclusive giveaway. You could win a private live consultation with me via Zoom and a $3,000 gift card to enjoy a luxury cruise with a companion. Just this bonus package alone would easily be worth over $1,000, but today it's all yours completely free. All of this is part of our complete ecosystem of health and well-being, created to ensure that your mind, body, and emotions work together, giving you back a long, lucid, and fulfilling life. Click the button below, choose your kit, and take the first step toward restoring your memory and living the life you deserve. Not bad, right? All of these bonuses add up to hundreds of dollars, but you get them completely free when you order 3 bottles or more. What I'm offering here is unlike anything you've ever seen. Of the original 79 bottles in stock, we now have only 27 remaining. So please, secure your kit right now before it sells out. Just click the button below this video. Don't let Memyts run out before you get your chance.
As soon as I started taking Memyts, I felt my brain clearing out that brain fog. I was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. But after I started, not even my doctor could believe my progress. I reversed my diagnosis, and now I have a better memory than I did in my 30s.
Now I want you to imagine yourself just 1 month from now with a mind as sharp as it was in your 20s. Imagine living unforgettable moments with the people you love most, knowing those memories won't slip away. What is it worth to be truly you again? With your full story, identity, and clarity intact, to live without that constant fear of forgetting your own life, I'd say it's priceless. And today, it's within your reach, but you have to act fast. With every minute that passes, your brain cells could be under attack from that silent toxin. Every day is a day you can't get back. And while you're thinking, others are securing their kits. Our stock is limited and could run out at any moment. Let's face it, there's no reason to put this off and risk the regret of missing this chance. Remember, Alzheimer's doesn't wait, cognitive decline doesn't take a break. The only person who can take action is you. Imagine a few weeks from now, you or your loved one flipping through old photo albums, clearly remembering every special moment, waking up with energy and focus without the fear of drawing a blank. That's what Memyts can do. So go ahead and secure your package now. Do it while we still have bottles available, and before this presentation is taken down by pressure from the pharmaceutical giants. This is the moment to act, and from here you have only 2 choices. Option 1, you close this page, pretend you didn't see it, and go back to life as usual. Ignore the research, the discoveries, the testimonials, and continue to believe that confusion, memory loss, and emotional disconnection are just a part of life. But if you've come this far, I know that's not what you want. Deep down, you know something has to change. You feel you deserve more. Option 2, and the one I truly hope you choose, is to say yes to life, yes to mental freedom, yes to a future where remembering is a gift, not a struggle. With just 1 click, you can begin your journey back to your memories, back to your relationships, back to yourself. And here's the best part. You can do it all without harsh drugs, without expensive treatments, and without side effects. With Memyts, you're taking a real, safe, and scientifically backed step toward a clearer, brighter, more present mind. So ask yourself, what changes if you let this moment pass? How much longer will you live with this fear of forgetting faces, names, places, important dates? What is the cost to your family of watching you slowly fade away? The science has already shown there's a way out, and that way out is right in front of you. Choose your Memyts kit below, the only 100% natural, safe, and proven formula designed to attack Alzheimer's and memory loss at the root. And remember, you are fully protected by our unconditional guarantee. You have time to try it. No risk, no pressure, full support. But time is running out. The bottles are disappearing fast, and you deserve this transformation. Make the decision the future you will thank you for. Click the button now and come celebrate your victory with us. The victory of a restored mind and a new life full of memories to enjoy. I can't wait to hear your transformation story. Thank you for listening. Until next time.